All right, guys. So we are about to jump back into the React application, and the very first thing we're going to do is create a login and sign up route within the React application. And then what we're going to do is start, I guess, exploring Redux, what that does, and how we'll use that to then tie the React application to this API. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is simply in the config.json in the server directory, I'm going to change this port number to 8080, and that is where our API will live for now. I'm going to go ahead and open up my terminal and cancel out of here, run npm start just one more time to make sure that it is running on the correct port, so that once we actually get to it, when we start making requests to our API from React, we'll be able to access it on the correct port. This will also allow us to have our React application running at the same time, which is configured to start on port 3000, which so was our API. That would have caused a conflict. So we're getting rid of that conflict right now. For right now, I can go ahead and close this workspace, and we're going to get back to our website workspace. Now, as you recall, we're going to have to go back to our API to rig up this this form to it to be able to actually do something with the form. So we won't worry about that right now. What we will do is create a login screen that you will access when you go to /admin. So let's go into Pages here and create a new file called login.js. And we're going to import React and component from React. We're going to say class login extends component. We'll create the render method really quick just to return h1 login. And then down here, we're going to export default login and save. So now that we've got that done, what I'm going to do is actually start the application. And then once that's started, we can start accessing the application itself. What I'm going to do is under page wrapper. So in page wrapper, we had the navigation. We really don't want to have that within, I guess, within, the admin routes. So under router here, we will create an admin route that will not inherit the page wrapper. So what we can do is actually we'll have to create the admin wrapper because we're going to need a header and a sidebar and stuff in that, and we'll get more into specifically how we'll style the admin area a bit later. For right now, let's just import let's go ahead and add admin wrapper. So under components, we will click new file and we'll name it admin wrapper.js. So we're going to import React and component from React and class admin wrapper extends component. And for right now, we'll have render, which is going to just return div id admin dash page. And then we'll have this dot props dot children inside here. And then we're going to export default admin wrapper. So this is what we're going to use to embed our header bar that we have for the admin as well as the sidebar. I don't know why it imported that. Okay, so save, and then in app we are going to import admin wrapper from components admin wrapper, and then we're going to import login from components pages login. So if the route is admin, we need to instantiate the admin wrapper. So let's go ahead and create a route right here. The path is going to be /admin, and render. For now, we're going to take the props and we're going to put it into a return statement of its own. And we are simply going to return the login component for right now. So let's save. And now, if we open the React application and I zoom out, and we go to /admin, we've got the login page. So awesome. We also have the start bootstrap, and I think that came from the page wrapper, but the page wrapper should not actually be in effect here. So let's go into the React inspector and zoom in a bit. Yeah, so page wrapper is definitely okay. So what we'll have to do is right. Okay. So it's embedding this route and then it's putting the page wrapper under no condition or anything. So, I mean, do we have another level up we can work from? I don't think so. I think index.js just instantiates app. All right. So what we'll have to do is, if the URL has nothing to do with admin, then we'll run the page wrapper. So we're going to have to put this into an if condition. And if we look at app, we see the props have nothing. Router, we have location. So under router, the route path admin. Okay. All right, so actually this is a perfect example. Many videos ago, I was trying to recreate an issue where multiple components would render, you know, so what this is doing is it's saying, okay, admin, yeah, that's true, but we should also, you know, wrap this in page wrapper. So what I'll do is I'll take the page wrapper. For now, to fix this, I will delete that from there. And then inside of each of these components, what I'll do is replace it with render. And we'll take the props and open up bracket here, and we'll just put page wrapper like this, and then home dot props. Erase the word home here, place the closing bracket, and we're good to go. And I'll do the same thing actually for about and contact. So I'll just replace the home route with about and this with contact. And then what we should see is the page wrapper only gets instantiated when there is a one of these routes are the correct route, I guess. So what we can do is we can also wrap the login in admin wrapper. And then we're going to get into redirects a little bit later, like if you try and access any admin route and you're not logged in as an admin, then you won't have access to it. For right now, we have the login screen. Let's go ahead and actually create the login form itself. And so we're going to be using Formic with this as well as the field component that's stored under common. So let's go ahead and import in the login file here. We're going to import field from, we're going to go a page up and we're going to look in common/field. And then we're going to import, well, that was a mess. I'm going to import with Formic from Formic and import asterisks as yup from yup. There we go. So with this form, what we're going to do is we are going to map through a few fields as well, just like we did on the contact page. So let's go ahead and create const fields equals, and then it's going to be an array. Name is going to be email. Element name, and again, these are properties that we have specified in the field component to use. So element name is going to be input. They both are, because we're just going to ask for email and password. The type is going to be email, and the placeholder is going to be your email. And then the second name is going to be password. Element name is going to be input. Type is going to be password. And placeholder is going to be your password, just like that. So let's save. And then what we'll do is well, let's write the Formic stuff first, because we kind of know what we're going to be doing here anyway. So where it's exporting default login, what we're going to do is wrap this again in a method called with Formic. And we're going to open and close brackets, and then we are going to wrap the login component with brackets. And this with Formic method is going to take one property, which is going to be an object. We're going to map props to values, which is going to be an arrow function here. And we are going to return in brackets an object. And email. These are going to be starting values, I guess, and password is going to be that. Now we're also going to validate schema, and then we're going to have a handle submit, which currently is not going to do anything, but we are going to tie it into Redux. So we'll probably end this video here as soon as we write the validation in the handle submit, and then in the next video we'll get more into the actual form itself and displaying it. So let's go ahead and write validation schema. Again, it's camel case, and it's going to be yup.object, which is a method, dot shape, which is a method that takes an object as the sole parameter. We're going to say email, and we're going to say yup dot string dot email. So we're going to require a valid email. So email is invalid. So this is going to be the error message that prints out if the email is not an email. And then we're also going to say required. And if the field is completely blank, we'll say you need to log in with email address. And then comma, because we're going to open up the password now. And we're going to say yup dot string dot required, and if the field is blank, you need to enter your password. Now this is going to handle validation just for the form itself, not all the posting to the API. If the user and password combination is incorrect, then we're going to handle that separately. But now we're going to add the handle submit method, which is going to take values and the method set submitting. And then it's going to be an arrow function, and we're just going to, for right now, we're going to console log login attempt with values. There we go. So this is all the Formix stuff that we need to do. In the next video, we'll get to actually mapping the login form itself, the fields themselves, as well as the button to submit it.